Welcome to the freaking after party. Today's sexy thumb thumb is reserved exclusively for our Patreon supporters, which is you. Thank you.
Sexy thumb thumb is so good. I'm never not gonna think about that now.
Oh my God. All right. So I was listening to I believe the latest episode of Like a Virgin, where I heard you talk about the Minion movie soundtrack. So obviously watching this movie with Tony Shalhoub playing a character named like Mr. Minion or whatever. I have not seen any of these Gru movies, the Minions. I do live in Burbank, so I see the giant Minion face like when I'm driving anywhere. But I gathered from your podcast that this is like the sickest movie soundtrack ever. And I just wonder if you can like tell me about it.
Yeah. Well, first of all, wait, you live in Grubank?
Yeah.
You live in but it's not named after Gru. It just now do people go there for like Minion lore?
No, it's just that like I can see Universal Studios like from my house.
Oh, I was like, what? Okay, I was so confused.
There's like a giant Minion, like there's like
no idea.
Hogwarts. I can see Hogwarts, and then I can see this giant Minion, and I'm just like, okay, like Minions are happening.
Okay, so I also admittedly have never seen a single Minions movie or Despicable Me movie at all,
and never will.
They are kind of, and probably never will. No.
Yeah.
But yeah, Jack Antonoff produced this crazy soundtrack, and curated it felt like it was like a fan fiction written by me. Like it was all of my favorite artists, like Phoebe Bridgers, Wise Blood, Caliucas, St. Vincent. Diana Ross does a song with Tame Impala. It's like a parody of a cool soundtrack. Like it is so, and they all do kind of like retro-y, like 70s-ish covers. That are really well produced. And yeah, I mean, it slaps. We had it bumping our whole vacation. It was good.
Wow, I had no idea. I've never seen a Minions anything, but it's impossible to not be saturated with it.
Yeah.
If in general, and also if there's any children, even in your like remotest of orbits, it looks like the absolute most annoying thing I could ever fucking imagine. And it's a wonder that you even know that the soundtrack is good. Like when I go see my niece and I look at what she's watching and I'm just like, this shit is so much. Like, I don't remember, like I've gone back and looked at things that I watched as a kid and they weren't that, like it's just all like the kids media is just like constant, like here you go, and funny voices and lots of lights and lots of color and and like goofy shit. And I'm just like, what happened to like, well, in Canada we had like Mr. Dress Up and it was like this old man with, well, that's kind of creepy, but this old man with a chest, and like there was things in the chest that were kind of cool, and like I don't know, it just seemed a little tamer.
Now it's the Fooglies.
Yeah, no, I agree with the sentiment that like a lot of kids' movies these days are very like assault on the senses. I feel like with Minions specifically, I just as a critic, it's my job to be in on the culture. And right now, Minions are the culture, okay? And it's only a matter of time, Anita, before you catch Minions fever. So you better get vaccinated or you're gonna catch it.
I mean, to be fair, you haven't watched them.
No, but I still have Minions fever.
Okay.
Gru will rise, and it is my
I don't even know what that
job.
means. But I feel like there's lots of these like weird things. Like I've never seen Shrek. I don't really know anything about Shrek. Like people seem obsessed with Shrek, and like I don't know what really that means. And I just kind of like bounce out of those conversations to be like, I'm never gonna watch it. But like there's these touch points that I feel like I've missed along the way.
I would argue that the first Shrek film was the world's first meme. And I think that it is an hour-and-a-half long meme. It is a full troll. I think it's brilliant and perhaps one of the greatest animated movies ever created. But it's a full troll. And I kind of live for it. It's an amazing movie.
I worked in animation for like 3 years. So it's not like I'm an expert, but I like just worked for an animation studio. And that was a few years after Shrek. And like Shrek is Mike Myers, right, is the voice, but he and Eddie Murphy, but they're doing like Mike Myers is doing a character. Kids weren't like, I can't wait. I loved Austin Powers. I can't wait to see the cartoon that guy's in. And I really I am so sad that like voice actors have gone away from animation because people just put celebrities in them. And like no child is like, oh, Neil Patrick Harris is in that? Like, Mom,
so
take me to the movies. Like,
yes, but adults might be like, well,
Exactly.
I want to see it. And there's actually, I feel like this came up on an episode at some point, but because Lindsay Ellis is Lindsay Ellis, but she made an episode about Robin Williams and Aladdin, which and the whole episode talks about this exact shift that happened into celebrity voice acting. It's a very good episode.
But I just specifically wanted to say, like, the guy who does the voice of all of the minions is just one guy.
Shut up.
And
That's
he invented this like gibberish lingo, and he does
it's called Minionese.
Minionese.
Unfortunately,
funny voice, and that is what kids love about the Minions is they make funny noises and they fart or whatever.
Yeah,
and like
literally.
I just hope that guy is getting so many points off of this movie because not a single one of these kids is like Steve Carell as Gru. Like they want to hear this funny, silly voice, and I really hope that guy is a bazillionaire.
He is.
Good.
You're like, I know him personally.
Yes.
Man,
I just got off the phone with him actually.
Actually, if you're listening, voice of Minions.
Having never seen this movie or movies or whatever, like I can't even imagine what a tall task it is to voice like what every character in the movie like. How many hours and hours and hours of voice recording?
Yeah, especially since there are crowds of them, like crowds of minions. Does he have to just?
They probably just have a soundboard, right?
Or just a minion algorithm.
Yeah, no, they don't even. He doesn't even work anymore.
Yeah, computer generated minion.
Yeah. I don't know. Why I did vowels.
Wait, the Minions movies passed the Bechdel test? Do you think
lady minions?
Probably.
Do they wear lipstick and bows? Because I got a video for them. I have an educational
they're really
video
skinny.
For them.
They're sexy.
Yeah, they're
sexy
like
min-mins.
They have their nails painted because girls have their nails painted, you know? I don't know, actually. I'm gonna Google right now. Does Minions pass the Bechdel test?
I do feel like I read that. I mean, also, right, the Minions and Gru are supposed to be villains. Like, he's a villain. He's despicable, and they are his evil minions. Right. But I did hear that, like, they had to write a plot point that explained that the Minions... Okay, why do I know this? The Minions' job is to serve the greatest villain around. Right. So there is a plot point, apparently, in the new movie that is, like, they were in hiding for such a large period of time during the 20th century so that no one can argue that the Minions served Hitler. Like, they had to answer that.
In the movie?
I think they just say, like, here we are, the Minions. It's the 70s. We were in hiding ever since the last 100 years. Or, like, they had to, like, have some explanation. Otherwise, you'd be like, so the Minions' job is to be bad guys. And like, who were the bad guys?
That is very thoughtful, actually. Like dumb, but thoughtful, you know, like to.
Yeah, I never would have thought about that. But does that mean they're now serving Jeff Bezos?
Yeah, like, is there a Nuremberg trial?
Are they like Elon Musk fanboys?
Yeah. Honestly, Elon gives Gru vibes. So just so that all of your listeners are clear, all of the Minions movies, including the first 3 Despicable Me movies, passed the Bechdel test.
I'm so thrilled to hear that.
Yeah, me too. You're welcome.
Anita, you should tell our friends at the Bechdel cast that they need to review.
I love the Bechdel test.
I bet you they've done a Minions movie. I mean, I would be surprised if they haven't. I will not be the guest for that if they have not. But
and nor will I, because I've never seen one.
Wait, I have a visual treat
Ooh.
for our Patreon
I hope it's a
supporters,
bow.
which is
Yes.
the drawing I did of Shrek that is on
Oh.
my boyfriend's wall.
Oh.
Yes, we are going
Shrek
to.
delight.
Yep. You have to talk so you become center.
Oh, that's great.
Oh yeah, so this is a drawing I did of Shrek. It's like grease stained from whatever
Donkey.
snack I had, and he's saying donkey. And yeah.
Is
I
that
mean-
the thing that
really
Shrek
good.
says?
Yeah. Donkey.
Donkey.
That's lovely.
Shrek is
Okay, I guess I have to watch this fucking movie.
Shrek is
It's another
fun.
get
Really,
high. It's probably
really
another
good.
get high and watch movie.
It is.
I started we have a new person who is working with us for now, and they are very young, and I I have all of these things, right? Like I am like a weird old anti-capitalist, and I'm just like, so yes, I'll use the word content, but I'm going to tell you almost every time that I hate using the word content, right? Like, and so then I was like, okay, yeah, maybe we could use some memes, and then I was like, but also that's not what the word meme means, and it's not like what the original definition was, but like whatever, let's just go with it. And they just stood there, they just were like staring at me, being like,
what
you're
the
old and weird, and that's fine.
and that's fine.
Because it like I can't, I will do it, like I'll go along with the fact that like we refer to just like a photo as a meme that has like text on it, or like even like I did this the other day when I was like, there was a meme going around Twitter of like, what's the biggest scam that doesn't seem like a scam? And I was like recounting this as someone, and I was like, that's not a fucking meme. It's a question. Like, anyways, it's fine. We don't need to.
Everything can be a meme.
I mean,
everything.
But I think what happens is that I'm like, come from like academic space where, I mean, I don't really do much academic stuff anymore, but where like we actually talked about memes and like what that meant and like the evolution of it. And so I think that like culturally we've decided that a meme is this thing, and that's okay, right? That language can change and evolve and grow. And like as a community, we make those choices. But I still am just like, meh. Know your history, kids.
I'm also like a logic oriented, like, like fart around those kinds of things as well. I get very nitpicky about that stuff. But if there's one thing that I've learned about like consuming culture, especially in America, it's that words mean things, but also they don't.
Mm-hmm.
And that is mostly true of a lot of things. So
what a great way to end this episode. I love it. I'm here for it. All right,
Fran, can you just give us one more of that little he's gonna kill us riff, and then we're good.
Floop is a madman, help us, save us. Now can you speed it up and play it backwards?
Yeah,
absolutely.
Thanks all.
Thanks everyone. We'll see you next week.
Bye.